So yeah, we always talk about the car, but I had a couple requests for more information about the trailer. So I thought I'd shoot a quick explanation about the trailer. So I designed this trailer totally ground up again, kind of like the race car. Sat down with a blank piece of paper and said, how can I make a lightweight, super easy to tow trailer that fits well in my garage and gets everything where I need it to go, and have something cool. So this is what I came up with. So here, I'll just do it. You can come along with me. So it's got a couple bolts that you have to remove. So this big 1/2 inch, it's a coarse thread 1/2 inch stainless steel bolt. I've already got the one out on the other side. So I'll take this one out real fast. Maybe. So with these out on each side, that means that this big swing arm is loose. The swing arm has a pivot point, that's way back here. That is this 1-inch bolt. That bolt goes through the trailer bed. This whole thing is sleeved. Sorry, this whole thing is sleeved. This whole thing is sleeved. There's a lock nut on the inside. But that is basically the pivot. And then there's a couple of friction discs in there just to make sure that it actually will pivot and not just sit there and rub against the steel and rub all the paint off and start rusting where I can't see it. So there's a couple of pivots on each side. And then, so as this whole arm that's up front tilts up, because the pivot is there behind the wheels, it allows the rear end to come down, but the axle takes the load until the rear end touches down. So come up front to this jack. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. This could be a little bit tricky. Maybe I can't. Watch me drop this whole thing. All right, here we go. So 1 second, gotta move that. Sorry. All right. So you can see as I let that winch out, it's lowering the trailer down by lifting up that swing arm. So that's all the way down. And that gives me about, it's like 1 inch. I think that's 3/4 inch steel tube. No, that's 1 inch steel tube in the back. So there's a 1-inch lip to get up onto the trailer. And that you can see is a pretty low approach angle. So you can almost just drive the car right on the trailer, which is kind of fun. But if I want to make it even lower, I have this adjustable front jack that I use, the tongue jack. So if I get, a lot of times you'll see at events, I will take the strap completely off just to get it out of the way, because it doesn't have to be on there. And then I can take it, and by basically lowering the tongue, it lowers the deck, which also raises the drawbar up. So again, I can sit here and lower the deck, maybe. Here we go. Lowering, 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 lowering. It's probably hard to see on video because I can't quite get back far enough, but that will slowly raise the swing arm out of the way. Now I can't get the deck completely flat because there's a spare tire underneath the deck, so I always travel with a spare. But you can get it down pretty far. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Now that's probably close enough for demonstration. So you can see we've lowered it down pretty far. Like I said, there's a spare tire that's bolted up underneath the deck there for travel. And that gets your approach angle down even more. So you can see I've got this relief cut. I want to say that's at like 6 degrees or something like that. I mean, it's some pretty low number. So, like I said, at national events, if we're going to be there for a week or so, it'll usually be in this configuration, so we can just kind of like pull the car on. The nice thing is there's just enough slope so that if it rains, all the rain sheets off the trailer, and then we just throw a tarp over the car. But yeah, that's how we travel. And then obviously, to put everything back together, it's just the reverse, right? You can do the trailer loading or unloading with it either hooked up to the tow vehicle or not to the tow vehicle. Like obviously we're not hooked up right now. But you can picture just, if it's on the tow vehicle, the ball's just hooked up front, and then you just raise and lower the swing arm, and the trailer lowers itself, and you pull the car on or off. To keep the swing arm centered, I machined these plastic pads here. So that's I think these are polystyrene. No, these are UHMW. But yeah, these are just like a self-centered pad. So because of the shape on it, the other one sits on top and kind of like keeps that swing arm from wanting to like shift side to side. And then the suspension on the trailer. So there's a shot of that side. It's an axle-less suspension. So each side is independent. And then you can see there's like a rubber spring, and that's what controls the movement. So I use some drop spindles on here to get the rear deck a little bit lower. And then that's how we control, that's how the car is suspended. So it works awesome. The trailer tows so good. I mean, I would never tell you that I've had this thing up to like 85 miles an hour, because I wouldn't. But if I did have it to 85, 90 miles an hour, it tows great. I'm sure it would, at least. So anyway, that's about it. So that is the Doof trailer. If you guys have any questions about it, or if you want plans, I will happily find a way to kick some out to you. All right, hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.